then let's get started. What lost the time yesterday? We started this one. We did some other things, and then we started this. And it's very explains everything. This one, so it's easy. I just wanted to show something. It's even explains that when you type John, yeah, it invokes a John the Ripper program. So it really explains everything. So we learned about wicked list formats, and we tested several hashes here, and we had to set the type, yeah. And then we searched in our list there the formats one here, so we knew exactly, like for MD5, if we show all of them, we see that there's one called raw MD5, and that's the one that we had, and it explained that that's the one we were supposed to use here too. With the simple ones you need to prefix it with a raw, with a standard hash type, and like the whirlpool one, it didn't have any raw one. It kind of doesn't sound standard too. Then we got the Windows one, and we read about anti-hash and anti-LM. Previous version was called LM, and now it's NT, so that's why it's NT-LM. And then cause with the NT, I actually talked about this as new technology. I thought it was network technology, and then this was actually here, and even the wiki link that we were into before we read that was kind of funny. Whatever, we did this one too, and it worked. So this is where we're at. So cracking its shadow hashes, and we downloaded the file. So let's see. If I click this, it should just open in Notepad, right? So this is everything I managed to recover from the target machine before my computer crashed. See if you can crack the hash so we can get it. We can at least salvage a password to try to get it back. So this is what we have then. Sorry, I have food in my teeth. Yeah, I was thinking we're using word wrap. There. The etc shadow file, or people keep saying Etsy, I think that sounds funny. File is a file on Linux machine where password hashes are stored. It also stores other information such as the date, the last password change, and password expiration information. It contains the entry per line for each user or account of the system. This file usually is only accessible by the root user. So in order to get your hands on the hashes, you must have sufficient privileges. But if you do, there's a chance that you will be able to crack some of the hashes. Unshadowing. John can be very particular about the formats. It needs data in, to be able to work with it. For this reason, in order to crack its password, its shadow passwords. My brain kind of read before I even saw the letters, and it was wrong. You must combine it with its password file in order for John to understand the data it's been given. To do this, we use a tool built into the John suite of tools called Unshadow. The basic syntax of Unshadow is as follows. Unshadow, and this is the same, path to password, path to shadow. So we need both files there. And that's why we had this information. I was thinking that it looked a bit funny. So this is actually from the password file. And this is the shadow file. So maybe we need to make two files there. Notes on the files. When using Unshadow, you can either use entire or you can retrieve relevant line from them. Okay. Oh, they are here, so we do not need the file. Let's just confirm that it looks like it's complete and everything is the same. No, it's not the same, so we need the file. By the way, let's start the VM while we're reading. So we have Kali available. Starting it on my right screen. So, cracking. We're then able to feed the output, but by the way, you can use either the entire or you can use a relevant line, but they still need to be in files. Because that's what I was thinking. They just pointed at a line in a file, then we could have them in the same file and point at different lines. But that doesn't look like what they said. So time to log into Kali. Right, I didn't have Obsidian open, meaning I did not do my checklist. I kinda hurried. So let's see if we can switch screens. No, it's not connected yet. I just started my phone that I switch stuff with. No, probably. Yeah. So let's just first, I mean, you can just as well look at what I'm doing instead of just staring at a empty screen almost, or it's just a few lines of text. So try HackMe VPN. There. And I guess we'll only need the terminal for this. Let's get started with going to the TSM directory. And I think, hashes. And here we have the ones we used before. So now we have we're going to create a, oh my god, it is just on my back. So let's call the first file etc password like 1, or just call it this, so we know what this is supposed to be. and then we go to the text file. I'll just move it over to the other screen here. So let's paste that. Let's just have a new line. So this is our fake. It's password, and then we have to say shadow. Let's paste the longer line there. And it's there. It's just, it looks funny sometimes in Nano. There. So we have the files. So now we just need to, if we do John here now, we'll have the last one we did. So it did switch, right? Because I it was so quick I couldn't see it. Let's close that. We're done with that. We could actually delete it at once. This is me downloading my own videos from Twitch. And it's much slower than other things. Oh, I haven't restarted this apparently. Oh, let's just erase files. So there. We had the syntax over here. But we had an example here, which is better. This would have been enough. You were able to feed the output from unshadow in our example called unshadow.txt directly to John. We should not need to specify a mode here, as we have made the input specifically for John. However, in some case you need to specify the format, as we have done previously using format, SHA-FOUR and 12crypt. And the only thing I'm thinking here now, because it told us to use unshadow, and now the example is John. So should we assume they just made an error? You know? Weren't we supposed to use unshadow? Or is the thing that it's all in John now and this information is old? Well, let's try first what they actually tell us to do. To try and do that. So I'm just clicking there. So this is the file name of the other. Right, before we do anything, let's just ls this so we just have a fresh list. I like LSing stuff. We can see all of the files there. Nice, simply. So if we type unshadow just to do it, it is there. It kind of feels like this is what we're supposed to use, right? Let's look at unshadow, and it's 2 files. Alright, so unshadow will make some special format for John to use. Is that it? Maybe I just wasn't reading. I was thinking like, oh, whatever, skip. It didn't say, I think. You must combine it for John to understand the data. Whatever. Let's try it instead. That's much quicker. And it's still not all the information. So now, let's do unshadow and just say what it says. It wants the etc password and etc shadow. So if we do this, we get a new one. And here we have information that I don't think was in the file. I'm thinking, should I catch shadow? Or don't I want to like have too much stuff in here? So, what is different? Yeah, look at the end here. It combined them. Okay. So this is the combined. So we will need when we when we use this, we will have to redirect it to a new one, like etc combined. Very scientific name. Not. So now I assume that we will use John with our etc combined and change the format to SHA Farron 12 crypt. There, so John format. The only difference between what we have and what they have is that they have the word list at the first spot and format second, and then the text file name, which we don't call text. We just have it there. I need to click there too. Now we're on this. So let's just run this. And the password is the marvelous password of 1234. Let's actually make a file in our notes, because I have not used Unshadow before. It's new to me. So we actually need to make a note. This should be in Cracking Brute Force. Maybe I should split these up, but everything is so... And also this is just mostly encoding left in this, because I had it both in there. So I'm thinking maybe I'll just do Cracking Brute Force encoding, but encoding kind of is not the same. But it's lots of sites, links I have and things work for both encoding and cracking hashes and stuff, or making hashes mostly, I guess. So let's make the new note. And we already have here, we have John, we have GPG to John, we have, I'm sure, zip to John, SSH to John. Where's the zip one? It's at the very bottom. So this one is supposed to be Unshadow. And then I'm going to type used to combine etc. Well, let's use the full name. Pass and shadow. For use with John. There. And what we did. So let's first just there. Let's copy it all in here, what we did. And also the help later. I'm just selecting all the lines for now. The help was like almost nothing. So this is the example. And I'm doing examples since I'm thinking that there might be other ones. Oh, that's ugly. Let's delete that first. I don't think that will change it now, but this is yeah, that's what we did. That's also part of the example, of course. So what I was looking for was a help one. So and this is the second time we did it, because we wanted to know, maybe all of this is like the example. So we combine these, we'll unshadow, and then we're showing how we used it with John. So we have the complete process there. And I wanted the help too. Even if it's just one line. So, tiniest help ever. Though I guess you don't need more than that. Compared to the help for Hashcat, that was kind of interesting. Usually I put like common commands there too. Let's go for it. I actually did a capital yesterday. Started typing it from scratch again. So this is the actual example here. So whatever, this is all we have so far. If we use it again, which we will, I guess, we can just put it there. So if we look at John again, or let's just compare to the help for Hashcat. It's kind of longer there. Kind of much longer. So so for John, we have a kind of reasonable help size. But the format bit was what's interesting here more. Why did these expand? Don't stay? Cause they usually stay? No, not today. Whatever. So let's go back to our right screen and just see if we had anything else. I think we had everything we wanted here. Right, we'll probably need to copy this somewhere. So let's go back to the TryHackMe page and paste the root password, and we'll just continue with the next one because it wasn't anything complicated. So single crack mode, another file. Ooh, I'll just copy this. So far we've been using John's word list mode to deal with brute forcing simple and not so simple hashes. But John also has another mode called single crack. In this mode, John uses only the information provided in the username to try and work out possible passwords heuristically by slightly changing the letters and numbers contained within the username. Okay. Word mangling. The best way to show what single crack mode is what a word mangling is. is to actually go to an example. If we take the username Marcus, some possible password would be, well, those. This technique is called word mangling. John is building his own dictionary based on information that it has been fed, and uses a set of rules called mangling rules, which define how it can mutate the word it started with to generate a word list based off of relevant factors for the target you're trying to crack. How many words to explain such a simple thing? This is exploiting how poor passwords can be based off of information about the username or the service they're logging into. Geesos. John's implementation of word mangling also features capability with the Geesos field in the Unix operating system and other Unix-like operating systems like Linux. So what are is it Geekos or Geesos? Geekos. Since it was capital letters, now they don't use capitals. Remember in the last task where we were looking at the entries of both shadow and password? Well, if you look closely, you can see at each field separated by a colon. Each one of the fields that these records are split into, are called Geekos fields. I've never heard a name for them. John can take information stored in those records, such as the file name and home directory name, to add to the list, to the word list it generates when cracking shadow hashes with single crack mode. Using single crack mode. To use single crack mode, we use roughly the same syntax that we used so far. For example, if we wanted to crack the password of the user named Mike using single mode, we'd use John single format path. Single, this flag lets John know that we want to use single hash cracking mode. Yeah, and then an example of that. I'm thinking maybe we should add this to the John notes too. And we didn't copy any of these, so let's have one of these down here as an example too. And this one, use single, what on earth did they even call it? Single mode, I guess? Single crack mode. I think I should eat my food, so I have the energy. And they don't get more dry. How long has it been? 40 minutes. She said you're still starting to be dry. Let's create the file. And there was a single example, so let's call it single. No, I copied something else afterwards. I copied the file contents first. So now we have a file. So what we did before with the hashes to find the type was to use this web page. So let's do that again.
Klingon says, "Hello, how's it going?"
Hi Klingon, welcome in. We're just about to try the single cracking mode of John. And John is used for cracking stuff if you like passwords, if you didn't know. But I have to get some energy too. It's lunchtime.
Evie says, "Hi, hello, all okay?"
Yeah, all okay. Hi, welcome back. Yeah, so I'm just taking a few bites of a sandwich.
Enjoy.
So now let's continue here. The use is just single, the format, and the file. And the file they had was called, well, this. I guess they update these sometimes. Why wouldn't they have them just in here otherwise? And we identified it as MD5 here with this tool. So, and I think I added the tools here. Yeah. So hash type identifier. My list was going too long. Maybe I should have had the names of the others still there. Anyway, let's continue. So if we type this here, we created the file here, and we know that the type is MD5. So if we just do, well, the same thing as before, this is called single, if I can spell it right. And we were not supposed to use a list now, no word list. I should have just typed it all, because it's nothing left. MD5, and instead of the word list, now we do single, and it's going to use the information in here, I guess. But what information? Let's go back to the left side and continue reading. So it will use the information that it has. Let's assume that this password is from a user called Joker, and so we're going to add that to the file then. I don't know which is easier, to open a new tab, and I did it in my browser instead of this. So if we nano single, because it should be in the same single, not dingle, we'll just add the name and with a colon, and it will use variations of this name as the list when it tries cracking it. So so now we can run this one. Okay. Let's continue reading. Maybe I just skipped ahead. So format. Of course, we have a new format now. So let's use the format it says.
Fixerbot says. New follower Boo GR33D0. Less than 3.
Welcome. Bugrido? Is that right? Welcome in. So let's just copy this and use it instead of MD5, because it's probably not that then, even if the program said. Using default input encoding, no password hashes loaded. So this is definitely the wrong syntax. Because it's exactly their example usage. They have John.
Greedo says.
Single
Thanks,
format.
love the big avatar that pops up. Cool.
Cool. Good that you like it. Thank you. So format raw shell single. And if you want to set your voice for the new people, you can just do let's see, if I do !TTS, then you have a link where you can configure both the voice and how your name is read. So in case you have like numbers instead of letters and things, maybe it reads it funny. You can fix that. So let's see here. We have exactly this format, and except for the file name, it's all the same. If you're cracking hashes in single crack mode, you need to change the file format that you're feeding John for it to understand what data to create a word list from. You do this by prepending a hash with the username that the hash belongs to. So according to the above example, we would change the file hashes txt from this to this. Practical. Now you're familiar with the syntax, and we tried this actually. So anyone with suggestions? We just got some facts. It will be something like this. It talked about password and shadow files. Food stuck in my teeth. There. Yeah, so we have used exactly this now. So what if we here, if we copy this again and paste it here, but start with Joker, and we ask it to identify, then it can't. It said this was MD5, and this is the contents of this file. So what we added was a joker text there, as it says, though I did capital J because they use that. It's probably Joker with some kind of weird variation there. But what we want to learn is to how to make John find it. So let's actually get John's help in our notes. Let's see what we can find on single. Single using default or name the rules. Yeah, we can set what rules here to use. Okay. So only using single will use default rule, I assume. And then we have the format one. Oh, we had MD5 a bit ago. But recently, that's not what we used, right? For the last one, we did this. With show encrypt. The show crypt. Will it assume that we just keep this and doesn't change anything? Oh. I just tried to switching it, but what I think is right is probably this one, since this is what they suggested. So let's cat single. Did I actually do something wrong? Apparently, right? Because there's no such file. Yeah, there is such a file. And it has this content. So if we nano the file again and make this a lowercase j, I don't know why I would care, but and also maybe we should have like we had 2 new lines afterwards. We can just remove both of them. Let's have one. That's kind of feeling normal, right? And if we run it again, it still says no password hash is loaded. So why? I should eat my last sandwich before it's all cold. We had double dashes. We have exactly this except for the file name. Let's add this one. So I'm not thinking it feels definitely like a format issue, and I know that this is not all new. So let's just Google John single. My God, we're getting names. Single crack mode. So let's just scroll down to where we have some. Maybe this is a good thing to read, actually. So let's see now. So now we have more information, and this confirms just that it changes like the case of the letters and things like that. Use a format flag to specify the hash type. And since we don't really know that, we don't have any information more than the hash, since it's an example. We would have known more if we would have known more, you know. Well, let's assume it's MD5, which is what we got. I think we tried this, but now we have two names. Okay, so I just forgot to type raw. Okay. Don't type exactly what it says. So that MD5 needs the raw one. That's what I forgot. Okay, let's look at this one anyway. By the way, maybe that's not a problem, because it only says one. There was 2 lines now. So maybe there's some kind of formatting problem anyway. Let's edit the file. I want to find what was the problem. That's the last character now. So, it's a format problem. It wasn't me mistyping. So if we go back to the file and we put some more lines here and we try it again. Okay, So it's already got the password for that one, I'm assuming. So a few new lines is what we need. No, it said no passwords left to crack. So I just didn't read the message. Okay. But I'm thinking, why didn't it give us the other password? Wasn't it MD5? Or was it just like a fake one? Wrong red icon. So we have this one. I added this one to the file. Whatever. It's Joker with an E. The E is a 3. There. So let's add this to our examples in notes. For John. Now let's minimize this so we don't have to scroll. Let's add an example here. I am a bit tired. This is like my lunch break. But I will stream longer than lunch break time. Apparently, since it's... How did it pass an hour already? So this is the single code. What did you call it? Single crack mode. So we're going to the next one next, but I want to make sure that I have it right. So single crack mode. Yep. Oops. Oh, never seen that menu before. New things just appearing. So, custom rules. As we journeyed through the exploration of what John can do in single crack mode, you may have some ideas about what some good mangling patterns would be, or what pattern your passwords often use. That could be replicated with a certain mangling pattern. The good news is that you can define your own set of rules, which you will use to dynamically generate passwords. This is especially useful if you know more information about the password signature or whatever your target is. Sorry for reading badly today. Common custom rules. Many organizations will require a certain level of password complexity to try and combat dictionary attacks, meaning that if you create an account somewhere, you create a password and enter. I'm thinking I will TTS, because maybe I'm more tired from yesterday than I thought. I don't know. I feel like I'm stumbling over words that I usually don't do. We'll see. I'll try a bit more. So, create a password and enter full password. Yeah, join the Discord. You may receive a prompt telling you that password had to contain certain things. This is good. However, we can exploit the fact that most users will be predictable in the location of these symbols. For a certain criteria, many users will use something like this. A password with a capital letter first and a number followed by a symbol at the end. This pattern is familiar. Password appended and prepended by modifiers such as capital letter or symbols. It's a memorable pattern that people use and reuse when they create passwords. This pattern can let us exploit passwords complexity. I'm like, oh, there was a message? No, it was just a bot. Boring. People talk a bit. I don't mind being distracted now. This pattern can let us exploit password complexity, predictability. Now, this does meet the password complexity requirements. However, as an attacker, we can exploit the fact that we know likely possession of these added elements to create dynamic passwords from our world list. Okay, so we think they will do that all the time. Custom rules are defined in JonConf file, usually located in JonConf. JonConf, of course. If you install John using a package manager or build from source with make, and if you're on the attack box. So they couldn't put it in the same place for simplicity then. Let's go over the syntax of these custom rules using example above as our target pattern. Note that there is a massive level of granular control that you can define in these rules. I would suggest taking a look on the wiki here in order to get a full view of the types of modifier you can use, as well as more example of rule implementations. So I'm not thinking we will really look at this, but I want this in my notes. I've also in another room done this already, so, and I'm sure it is in the same path. Whatever. Yeah, you see I have notes on this, so more rules there. I'm not sure if I'm redoing this. I might have reset this one and redo it. I don't know. Which means I should do it again, right? I only have candy since Easter, you know. I usually never have candy. But I thought I think I need a bit more energy than the sandwiches. And the yogurt. Let's go over the syntax. Right, we read that. Examples of implementation. The first line. Okay, let's open the file. Okay. Lazily, I'm copying the name. And let's open it in the second page here. So let's just paste that. let's oh, how to create custom rules. Custom rules are defined in this file, and or also there, and so on. Let's go over the syntax of these custom rules using the example above as our target pattern. But okay, I'm thinking this is messy. It's used to define the name of your rule. I think I already might have one of these. Let's just, I know that this is a long file. Like long file. So now we're starting to get some kind of options. There will be more list.rules is what the rules. The rules are called list single. I'm not sure though if I switch machines. When I switched to VMware, I made a new Kali machine, but I don't think I saved this file. So if it's not here, it will be because of that. We'll see. Depends on time. List rules. So here we have list rules, and so this is list rule single. So we'd use all of these rules. I imagine there's a very special situation where you would make your own rules, right? If you know exactly how if there's someone that has 6 letters, 3 numbers, 2 special characters, you know. And list rules, THM rules was theirs suggestion. We'll see if we had that. So now we passed them. So what's my last machine? That's both good and bad, because it would have been fun to see the old ones. Maybe I should just save this afterwards. Should we add a new one at the end? I usually use Nano for like simple text things. Maybe it's actually better because I'm not used to graphical.
Christy
Linux.
says.
Hello, working O slash.
Hello, welcome in, Christy, and thanks for being here. I'm not used to graphical editors being available at all in Linux. So let's actually open it here. Do I still have the path? So if I just paste here, yeah. So I imagine that it's easier to do it here. So if we just search for THM rules, yeah, I thought so. And that's just from algorithm. and we're at 3000 page lines, so this is a long config file. So if we're up here and we search for list.rules, so we can add our rule here. Now let's close it in Nano so we don't have two open. So let's add one before here. Our test rule. And call it list.rules.tchm rule. THM rules. Is used to define the name of your rule. That is what you will use to call your custom rule as a John argument. We then use a regex style pattern match to define where in the word we will be modified. Again, we will only cover the basic most common modifiers. Okay, so AZ takes a word and appends it with the characters you define. A0 takes a word and prepends it with the character you define. C capitalizes the character positionally. I remember this being kind of illogical. Lastly, we need to define what characters should be appended.
Cluttered Wearing says,
Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views,
Sorry,
chatbots,
people.
etc. The
Maybe I
price is
should
lower than any
add the
competitor.
proof.
The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Flexible and
This is
convenient
just
order management
spam.
panel, chat panel, every
Sec Guy says,
Yar cult.
Hi, Sakai. So clicking the TTS button mutes the message. Let's check the poof thing and we'll see if it works. If we ever get another one. I mean, those are not horrible, it's just an ad. So, spam. So let's continue. We do this by adding character sets in square brackets in the order they should be used. These directly follow the modifier pattern inside of the quotes. Here are some common examples. We'll use numbers 0 to 9, 9. Oh well. So yeah, I remember using this. Have I done this one before? Or is there a very similar one? Possibly a similar one. Putting this all together in order to generate a word list from the rules that would match the example password polo password 1, assuming the word polo password was in our word list. We would create a rule entry that looks like this. So let's just, as an example, copy this. And I'm pasting it in the configuration file. Oh. Oh, I'm trying to shift control paste. That didn't work. Mm. Oh, now I see the emotes there. So, in order to capitalize the first letter C, append to the end of word. So C, then A, C. Well, I guess we'd have to read all of this. C is capitalized. So it capitalizes, which means it's uppercase is the first letter only, I guess. Yeah, the first letter. Yeah. Let's look at them together. Continue in this. A number in the range. So it just adds a number and then followed by the symbols. So it does one of these then. I assume you can like do more things. Oh, look. You have the quotes there too and the space in between. So, followed by multiple double quotes. When using custom rules, could then call this custom rule as a John argument using the rule polo password, because they called it polo password, not THM rules, sir. Okay, I thought we were going to use it like an example. This is the next one. Oh, let's just read it all. So we would do rule, and then the rule name for this one. And capital letters. To the end of the word. Yeah. So A, Z. And then they have these. So if we just copy like all of this and then change it. And for C. There. What do custom rules allow us to exploit? Set the rule, password rules, I guess. Common custom rules. This is longer. What about this one? Let's also try that, but that doesn't help. This is a stupid question. What do custom rules allow us to exploit in 3 long words? I guess that custom rules. Tell me if you have suggestions. I have these tiny chocolate candy left from Easter. My god. Good thing I never eat candy otherwise. Now I'm almost getting used to. First time I ate candy, I felt so sick. Password structure. Well, why do they use these star? It's good that we can see the pattern, but you shouldn't have to look at the pattern. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first word is 8 characters. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it 10? I'm not sure. Is it 13? I'm thinking that the first one is password. And then we have where did I read? Why does this kind of replies? Structure. And that's 9 letters. So structure, maybe. Which is, you couldn't use that, you know? Any suggestions? This is just annoying. This gives me nothing. I'm going to test this. And that should be the focus, not trying to find some whatever words exactly what they mean here. So and there were no files for this one, as for those previous ones. So no, I'm seriously sick of this, so let's just there are millions of walkthroughs and thingies for these. I want to crack hashes and stuff. I don't want to try and guess words for that. So this is task number 8. Okay, so password complexity predictability. So annoying. Closing that one again. Hoping we won't have to Google for that again. So wrong focus. It's like I forget what we're even here for, you know. So let's now actually try this. But we have nothing to try it on. And I don't know how to... We could make our own hash with a crazy password, you know, but let's accept that they just say this as a parenthesis and don't want to give us any real questions. The other room that I had this in, that I don't remember, we did edit this and we did use it. I know that much, so it probably wasn't this room then. Melted chocolate on my fingers. So, let's go continue. I got some teeth chewing gum. Get some of the stuff onto the teeth at least. This chewing gum, it tastes like so strong mental thing, so you feel like it's called intense mint though. It feels almost like, you know, this thing you have for if you have a training ache, or what do you call it? Blows marks on your skin or stuff when you've been training, like boxing. Such a strong flavor. Too much, I think. Oh, let's see now. So let's remove the custom rules from this one, and let's go to the next one first. So I would like this to be a test of this, but it's not. Okay, it's a zip file. I did that the other day. So let's download the zip file, and let's do that actually on the Kali machine. Oh, computer wants to turn the fan on. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna try HackMyth VPN, so I can't access the room data. I think I shared a folder so we could get it to the machine, but this is annoying. Let's see if what used to work once upon a time, that I could actually just drag files. So the last file was secure zip. So if I drag it here, yeah, it looks like I can actually. So let's use graphical stuff. I was expecting it to pop up the home directory. Right, it's a different one. I never do use this. So look, it's all graphical. That's the dog, flower and cat. My test files. So here, I can't put it here, but it just a minute ago it worked, right? Yeah, not there, but here. So what if I drag it here and drops it? So then we have it here. Where on earth is this? This is a desktop folder, I guess. Ah, that's so stupid. Why couldn't I drop it wherever I wanted? Oh well. I guess that we could, like, cut the file, move to... Oh, this is all new to me. Move to this directory and paste it graphically. Sorry. I don't know if I like it or not, you know. Why can't we just drag it to wherever we want instead of having to drag it afterwards? So now it's not here, right? I did put it. So right, the name is odd too. Maybe we should continue practicing using this. I put it here, but it was supposed to go to, well, let's rename it first to something useful. So like password.zip, right? And then we move it to hashes. This is the first time I've moved files in Linux by dragging them and by using graphical things. My server doesn't even have a graphical user interface. Yeah, I probably did that long ago when I used Linux earlier, you know, but not recently. So here. So we try unzipping this. We'll say password and we'll say we don't know. So then before I look at that, I'll just see if I can remember how to do. And yeah, I was going to type that. So zip to John. And then this one is called password. .zip, and we're going to have to make a file like password .zip .hash, and let's cat dot there. And then we join this, and then maybe I should actually history backup.zip. No, that was not the thing. So let's just do John. Zip hash is what I called it last time. Just a word list. Text file word list. Okay? So John oh. So I would think that will be it, right? Yeah. So let's look at what this will tell us to do, just to check that I remembered it first. It wasn't long ago. Cracking a password to protect the zip file. Yes, you read that right. You can use the to crack a password of a password protected zip file. Again, we're going to be using a separate part of John's suite of tools to convert a zip to a format that John can understand. This is also in my notes because I use it. But for all intents and purposes, we're going to be using the synthesis or no, zip to John, and there could be options. allows you to pause a specific checksum options. So in this explanation, this looks like this is a part of the command down to zip. It just gives it, prints it to the command prompt. Otherwise, cracking. We're then able to take the file output. Yeah, it doesn't say much. We're just supposed to get what is the password. It's pass123. Do I really copy pass123? Yes. What is the contents of the flag? Okay, there's a flag. So let's unzip. I have to click there too, and there. Okay, I pasted. So I shouldn't have pasted. Pass123. There. So cd cp cat flag. So so we're pasting there. So cracking password protected RAR archives, and this I have never done, or more time ago. So let's download this. Let's do our graphical move thingy. I think it's the quickest. But now I'm going to go into the actual directory where we want the file and see if we can actually drag it there, or if we'll have to drag it to the desktop and then drag it there again. Hashes. So RAR file to only here. I can't drag it over anything because then it stops working. So drag it there, and then we drag it here. I guess that's VMware thing, not the poor Kali's fault. So we should have a new file here. Not here. Here. So the RAR file is also, of course, named something stupid. So let's just rename it 16. I don't want to type this secure. It started with secure to well, password.rar. Okay. Should we assume the same syntax? I saw on the screen it says rar to John, so let's just do it. So rar to, and you see I haven't used this, rar to John, at least in this history. I forgot to lengthen the history last night. It was sleep time. Kind of fast anyway. So rar to John, and then we do the file, which started not anymore with, but with password. And now we have rar there, and we want to send this to how do I type that arrow on my keyboard? And I use some kind of stupid name, .zip.hash, password. So this will be password .rar .hash. Since there's lots of things in the same directory, be a bit organized, and then cat this, and just do rar here instead. There we have it, and I think I arrowed up too much, but it's just to do rar. there. I assume we will get the password, which was password. The complexity of the passwords keep increasing. So, use a similar method. It's the same, right? So we don't need to read this. So, should I actually type password here instead of copying it? There. Then it was some time since I did use RAR, and I assume, yeah, there's a flag in there. So I'm going to cheat by, I think it's in my Linux notes, right? Do I have RAR here? Do I have it actually? I think I have one for zipping and things. It's not really up. It's only torrent. I guess I will just have to right. So I assume unrar exists since it went blue. So I'm just curious now. No, so this is maybe some alias or something. Let's just try it. So it's called password. No? Completing RAR command. Okay. I don't think this is a real command. And not RAR instead. Can we just unzip it? It's not a zip file, I know. So, I don't know how to unpack this one, so let's Google. Oh, wrong page. There.
Arduku says.
Try to app search on RAR. Maybe you do not have it installed.
Yeah, but yeah. So you're saying it's supposed to be nrar. It should be there. So rar extract Kali. So maybe that's the name of it. Maybe that's why it doesn't work. Unrar. The thing is that it went blue, you know, unrar. And when I tried help, they said unknown option help. So odd, a bit odd. Is this supposed to be the one? And I have the full install, so I'm not thinking it's supposed to be unrar. But okay, let's just see if it's supposed to be named unrar. Let's just try typing apt install unrar, not inrar. Because usually when it recognizes a command. Yeah. So unrar is already as the newest version. So since we couldn't, you know,
I am saying that maybe the package is not installed, but there is an unrar binary.
Let's do ls first and see if it managed to do something, though we didn't get any output. It just did nothing, you know. When I did this, we didn't get anything. So, what do you think? What do you suggest I should do, Arduku? What should I do to... What's your suggestion? I never used RAR on, you know.
I apt search unrar and I got this unrar free / collie rolling 1:0.1.3 to 1 am64. Neither did I.
Okay, so let's see. What did I? Oh, so maybe it needs these other packages too. Unrar, but it's odd. It's very odd. So I wasn't really looking for this page, so let's see what other hits we had when I searched. X and the file name. So maybe it's just that it doesn't have. So if we do unrar and we do X, and we get the password question. So the problem is that it doesn't give any output and doesn't have any help. So but the password is password. So let's type password. And we have learned a bit about RAR. And I don't think I'll be using it much, but maybe you never know with all the CTF stuff. Maybe. Let's get that. It's just where? Just there. So cat flag.txt. RAR archives this time. So if I need to unpack RAR files, I can dig more into RAR. It's not like it's... There's a bit interesting that didn't work. By the way, there's a hint. What does it say? You may need to install unrar. Okay. I kind of want to just finish this path, you know, and do the next one. So SSH, I did SSH just right, you know, a few days ago too. Let's just repeat the steps. Why do I keep closing that home folder down? Going into the THM hashes, clicking download folder, dragging IDRC over to there, failing because I was too close to the there. Now we're back to the command prompt on that machine, and this one is done, so we can read. Cracking SSH key passwords. Okay, I hear you. No more file archives. Fine. Let's explore one more use of John that comes up with semi-frequently in CTF challenges. Using John to crack a SSH private key password of IDRC files. Unless configured otherwise, you authenticate your SSH login using a password. However, you can configure key-based authentication, which lets you use your private key, IDRC, as an authentication key to log in to the remote machine over SSH. However, doing so will often require a password. Here we will be using John to crack this password to allow authentication over SSH using the key. SSH to John. Yeah, right. So, who guessed it? Another conversion tool. Well, that's what working with John is all about. As the name suggests, SSH to John converts. Sorry, Dave. It's a similar. I'm just scanning quickly. So, the sensitivity is what you expect. Note that you don't have SSH to John. Okay, you can use SSH to John Pi. Okay. We have this because I used it the other day and it was already installed then already. So yeah, let's go to the machine again and SSH. If I type correctly, it will pop up there, and I think the file is probably not this name, cause yeah, it's this name. So thanks to tabbing, we didn't rename the file. I think I want the file renamed though, but so let's do that anyway. ID to just ID RSA, cause you know this company, this directory will still be here. So if we join this, yeah, I used the name I used was SSH hash. And didn't I use a file for this? I must have. Right, so let's lazy this and go arrow up, because we usually add our list to, and it's easier to arrow up and then so SSH. So there. It was like more than 1 second. We have a mango. So let's see if we did all of the things they wanted us to do. What is the password? Is mango. There. Further reading. Thank you for completing this room. Hope you learned a lot. Yeah, and it is useful with repetition, because now we know these, and since I used zip and SSH the other day, I will hopefully remember this now. So the link is to OpenWorld John, and OpenWorld John within duck rules. So we can Google in case we need more things there. So let's go to the next one.